Alright, so we're back for part 2 of my reptile room tour. This time we'll be looking at all the lizards. But before we begin, I do have a sad announcement to make. This cage right here, which now holds 6 baby beardies, used to belong to Martha, my bearded dragon, who is actually the mother of all these babies that I have. And she passed away on Wednesday from what I presume was old age. She was at least 6 years old. I had her for 3 years. I'm pretty sure the previous owner said he had her for 6, which is definitely on the low end of their lifespan, but she just started fading away really quick over the course of a couple days, and then passed away. Just out of nowhere. I mean, no visible signs of ill health. She was eating fine over the weekend. And then she just passed away overnight. So the good news is that she did reproduce once in her life, so she has a bit of a legacy with these babies, and there is actually one I'm going to keep to replace her, because I think it would be nice to have one of her babies, and that's this one right here. One of the bigger, prettier ones. So that's Martha Jr., although I don't know the gender, but I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to keep. Alright, so moving on. More baby beardies. So now I have them separated. There's the 6 over in Martha's cage, 4 in here, and then the 4 smallest in here. Oh, speaking about the string of bad news, I just did my fish video the other day, and where I showed you all of my fish, and that same night that I posted that video, one of my tinfoil barbs jumped out of the tank, and I found it the next morning, just barely alive, but it ultimately didn't make it. So now I'm down to 2 tinfoil barbs, and pretty bummed about that. That's basically 2 animals in one day, and that's never good. Alright, but now we'll come around here to Ogopogo, the Russian legless lizard, who I did do a video on. And he's just chilling back there. I cleaned his cage yesterday. He pooped in his food dish. Which is good, because I cleaned the cage. Now I can just rinse out that poop. Yeah, so, not much to say about him since I already did a video on him, but he's doing good. One of my favorite lizards. Love this guy. He's just chilling over there. And then we have my giant day geckos. Giant Madagascar day geckos. 2 of them, male, female. That one's the female, and I just call her Big Mama. And then the male is, there he is, and his name is Greedo. And I've had these guys about 2 years. Obviously they're not, if you know anything about day geckos, you know that they don't like to be handled, so I'm not going to reach in and grab them. They're gorgeous though. They're just some really beautiful lizards. And they're adorable. Look at that face. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. I don't want to hop out of the cage. If you grab them, they drop their skin, which is pretty disturbing. I've never had to do it, thankfully. These adults have... I bought them in this cage, and they've literally never been taken out of this cage. Even when I clean it, I just clean around them pretty much. Which means I can't do as deep a clean as I would probably like. But I just can't stress these animals out. Okay, and they reproduce pretty regularly, although they don't always hatch the eggs out, just because the babies are hard to get rid of. see if I can. Yeah, they want crickets, so can't open this too much, they'll just run right out. But still looking for homes for these guys. In a 10-gallon for now, but I'll probably have to upgrade it sooner. Then there's the baby Crested Gecko. Let's see if I can get a good shot of him. Oh. Yep, there he is, tucked in there sleeping. Okay. Alright, so moving on down. Here's this is a 20-gallon long, and it is home to male and female African Fattail Geckos, albinos. And this one here is Leela. And yes, she only has one eye. I adopted her from PetSmart. Apparently an associate had placed her hide down on her tail, and even though she did drop the tail, she was stuck under there, and when they found her the next morning, she was missing an eye. So I adopted her, and I absolutely love this little lizard. She's super cool, and I do have to hand feed her. She doesn't have very good aim when she goes after her crickets and roaches. And then there's Gorgo, and he is the male. And as you can see, he wants something to eat. And yes, I do intend on breeding these two. I've had some unsuccessful clutches, some eggs laid that didn't hatch. And she looks like she might be ready to lay again soon. I guess that's normal from what I'm told about fat tails, is they sometimes lose their first clutch. Let's see if we can get an inside look. Anyway, and I got this this Exoterra hide for humidity hide. And had them for almost 2 years too. There's a couple crickets crawling around in there. Try and get one of them out. Who do I got? Okay, it's Leela. It's Leela. Hey, girl. You can see her eye hole. And yeah, Leela, she's named after Tarak Leela from Futurama, of course. Gorgo is named after an old British monster movie, kind of similar to Godzilla, only a lot cheesier. Alright, so moving on, trying to keep this video kind of short. The Crested Geckos. Big Red and Yoshi. And there's Big Red. She's a lot more colored up than she was in my last video. Oh yeah, you're a pretty girl. I did a deep clean on this cage yesterday and I found 4 eggs. So I guess we can expect some baby Cresties. And I don't know where Yoshi is. These guys, you know, they're not small, but yet they're still hard to find in here. Oh, he's right there in front of me. Holy crap. And I've had them for about a year. My battery's blinking on this, so I gotta get through these guys. I don't want to have to charge my battery and come back down. Okay, we're almost done though. And then here's Eli, my male bearded dragon, father of the babies. He's in shed a little bit, as you can see. He's doing pretty good. I got him about a year and a half ago. I took him in for somebody they didn't want him anymore, but they weren't keeping him well maintained. His light bulb was a low wattage. He wasn't heating up to where he was supposed to be at. His eyes were gunky. He was skinny. No UVB. But we got him sorted out. Took him to the vet. Got the eye thing taken care of, and now he's a big, healthy dragon. Hey, buddy. Not as friendly as Martha was, but he's pretty cool. I like him. And then there's the Chuckwalla, which I received at an expo back in April, and he is doing excellent. He's not the tamest lizard, but he's getting better. He's getting better. There he is. He's gonna puff up. These guys in the wild, they wedge themselves in rock crevices and puff up like that, so you can't pull them out. And he'll do the same thing between my hands. He can also flatten himself out too. That's pretty cool though. And this guy's fantastic. I love this lizard. I'm not sure what kind or locality of Chuckwalla he is. I know there are several. And his name is Tarak. And when I first got him, for about the first week he wouldn't eat anything. And then for about a month he would only eat dandelion flowers, which was, I was happy he was eating something, but it was extremely frustrating because you know, dandelions are not in season all year round. And he needs more variety than that. I gotta put your rock back, buddy, so I'm just gonna sit you there. But now he eats everything I put in front of him. Collard greens, zucchini, squash, peas, prickly pear fruit sometimes, dandelion leaves, all of it. All of it. There you go, buddy. You're alright, you're alright. See, he's kind of flattened now. Alright, I'll leave you alone. You can go back to sleep. Or whatever you're doing in there. He has a very set schedule. He's out basking early in the morning. Midday he heads inside that cave. He'll come back out again a little bit later, eat. If I feed him past a certain time though, he won't even come out to eat. If I feed him like after 5 p.m., he's retired for the night and he's in his cave. He's a funny lizard. Okay, so one more left. Oh, 2 more left. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot Hwangi. Hwangi is my mountain horn dragon, also in shed and very fat. There she is. And I've had her for a few years now. She's a super cool little lizard. These guys, I think they're a little underrated. You can get them pretty cheap, mostly because they're imported from the wild, unfortunately. But she's super cool. I enjoy her. Her setup's kind of like a chameleon setup. She's got one of these Zoom Med, what are they called? It's a large size Reptibreeze. And you know, these things are made for chameleons and arboreal tropical lizards. But the screens rust on them, which is a pity. So I don't really have a choice. I have to spray her regularly. She has a nice big water dish down there, a little pump in there, keep it moving, keep her interested in it. I like to think of her as like the poor man's Chinese water dragon, and I'd like to have one of those someday, but they're a little too large. I need to make something custom if I want to get one of those. But she works. She does. She's a good lizard. Pretty easy to take care of. Okay, now finally we have another African Fattail Gecko. This is Hershey. She's normal. I'm not gonna bother her too much. She is a little bit on the skinny side. She had a bad spell a while back. I don't know what was wrong with her. She wasn't eating, and I essentially had to force feed her, get her to open her mouth and put the cricket in there, and she's doing a lot better now, but her tail is still small. She needs to gain some more weight, but she's feeding on her own. She seems to be doing good, and she used to live with the other two, but I decided to separate her because I don't know, maybe she was stressed out or something. That's Hershey. I would like it if she gained weight a little faster, but oh well. She does eat. And yeah, she has a drop tail. I bought her at a show last November, like that. And she also had like kind of a bruised up nose, so I try to keep anything sharp out of here. I don't even give her. She used to have a half log hide, but I was worried that she was rubbing her nose on things, and I think that's why she wasn't eating, is because of her nose rub. So I got one of these plastic things in here and gave her a pretty minimalistic setup, and her nose is healing. She's doing good. And that's it, guys. Those are my lizards. So I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. If you have any questions about any of these guys specifically, let me know in the comments.